Hello. Now we're going to start navigation. If you missed the previous class, you can check my YouTube channel and then watch it. There you will learn about SAP overview. Now let's start with navigation in SAP, how you can navigate and find a way around SAP and then get transactions done and then get the job done. So let's get started. Now, here is the logon screen. I'm using a Mac, so your Windows interface might look a little bit different, but these are the features you are going to find. Now here at the top, we have SAP as the title of this screen, and then we'll have the client 800. So if your client is different, you enter it. Client is usually a 3-digit code. It could be 100, it could be 200, it could be 800, it could be 110, but it must be 3 in number. Now you enter your user ID, which would have been provided to you by your basis consultant. So, and you enter your password, and then you hit enter on your keyboard, or you click on this enter button. So I've been logged in. This is giving us detail about our license. So I'll click enter. So this is the SAP Easy Access screen. This is the first screen you see when you log on to SAP. Now, at the right side is the SAP logo. It could be your company logo on this side of the screen. Now, this section on the left is the SAP menu, okay? And at the top, you have the standard tools bar here, where you have this icon. At the very top, you have the menu. So we have the menu bar, menu, edit, favorites, extras, system, and help. This is like your normal application menu bar. Then below the menu bar, we have the standard tools bar. On this standard tools bar, we have some interesting icons. These icons are very important in SAP. So we use them almost on every transaction. Now, the first one is grayed out, the second one is grayed out. This one says log off. Why this one is grayed out? I'm going to tell you the meaning of these ones that are grayed out very soon. But the next one is sprint. This is find. This is find next. This is next page. If you want to navigate pages, this is previous page, and then you continue like that. But another very interesting icon here is the create section. This create section helps you to create a new section. This whole thing we're seeing here is a session or a screen or transaction. So if I want to create a new section or a new screen or a new transaction, I can click this icon, this create session icon. This is like you browsing Facebook on your browser, and then you want to open Google in another tab. So that is what this does. So you can be doing two things, at the same time on different screens. Now, this particular field, this field is called the command field. Very important. The command field is used for entering transactions. Okay, we're going to talk about transactions later on and how to use it. So, but just know that the only thing you do on this command field is to enter transactions. Then this very button here is called the enter button. This button is like enter on your keyboard. There are some transactions you would want to execute. Instead of clicking this enter button, you could just press enter on your keyboard. Okay, so just know that this button is like the enter in your keyboard. But whenever you are reading an SAP book and then you see a place that they say press enter. When they say press enter, you could click on this enter, or you press enter on your keyboard and then it will work. But when they specify and say click enter, make sure you click on this particular icon. Don't press enter on your keyboard. I will demonstrate this to you when we start working on transactions. Okay? Then below the standard toolbar, we have the SAP Easy Access menu. This place is called the header. Okay, this is the header of SAP screens. So if you are working on a particular transaction, you will always see the title of that screen you are working on. You always look out for what you are working on, or the transaction you are navigating or working on from this particular section. Okay, then below it is the applications tools bar. This bar is called applications tools bar. This application tools bar is dependent on whatever transaction you are working on. So if you have open PO here, the application toolbar is going to give you the icons of PO. Okay, so these icons you are seeing here are particularly dedicated to SAP Easy Access screen. If you open any other transaction, these icons will change. I will point this out as we proceed. Then below is the SAP menu. This is the SAP menu. This is where you navigate from. Now, I just clicked on this arrow and then it expanded this screen. But if I click on the arrow again, it collapses it. If I click on this, it expands. If I click on it, it collapses. So to navigate through the SAP system, you can come and navigate through this menu. I'm going to show you how to navigate through the SAP system. There are two ways to navigate through SAP. The first one is through the SAP menu. Now, which is this place where we are right away. Okay? You can navigate through the SAP application from this place. Now, let me point this out. If you are working in a live environment, the system I'm using now is a training environment. So it gives me access to virtually all the modules in SAP, right? But if you are working on a live system, you will be given access to those particular transactions you are assigned to carry out in your organization. This is because only one person cannot do everything in SAP in a live environment. If your responsibility is to create and configure materials, you will be given access to create and configure materials. If you are in a department that makes requisition for items, you will be given access to purchase requisition interface. Okay, so for my system, I have access to do virtually everything. So I'm going to show you how you can navigate from one transaction to another. Now let's look at this. So I want to navigate. So what do? I will click on this arrow. Okay, it opens and then I can easily navigate through to a particular section. Let's go to logistics. It opens. Then let's go to material management. Let's go to purchasing, purchase order, create, and then I have this. So this one, there is no more arrow here to click. So this means that this is the end of this navigation. So whatever I click here, it will open for me to see the transaction screen. So what did I do? I clicked on SAP menu, logistics, material management, purchasing, purchase order, create. This is telling me vendor supplying plant. No, at this point, what I'm trying to do is that I want to open the purchase order creation screen. So at this point, I will double click on this section. Now, as I double click, it will open. Now watch, it's opening. Now, this is the transaction. Like I told you, whenever you open any transaction screen, look at the header. Now, this is the header. It says create purchase order. So this means that this interface or this screen is the create purchase order screen. So if I want to create my purchase order, I just need to go through the other steps and then enter the parameters as needed, and then I will create my purchase order. Now let's look at the header, the standard toolbar that I told you. You know, we saw these things were grayed out from the easy access screen. These are the icons on the standard toolbar. So we have the back button that takes you backward, the lock exit button, and then we have the cancel button that cancels whatever active transaction you are working on. So let's move a step backward to the SAP Easy Access screen and see. Okay, so it takes us back. Now let's use the transaction code, which is this ME21N, and see how it responds. So I will come to the command field and type ME21N, and then I can either click enter here or press enter on my keyboard. So it takes us to the same transaction, create purchase order. So whenever I finish entering my transactions in this purchase order screen, I click save to get it saved. So that is how you use this interface and then navigate through to different transactions. Let's go back to the SAP Easy Access screen once more. So here, now there is another transaction code that we can use or navigation that can take us to a different interface entirely. That interface is called customizing interface. It's used by consultants to customize the SAP system from the root section of the system. So they go there to configure their different modules. For instance, financial accountants will have to go there to carry out some major configuration. Material management will do the same, and every other module have their section in that customizing area to customize their module. Okay, so let's see how we can get to that environment. To do that, from the SAP Easy Access screen, we can navigate through to tools, and then we go to customizing, to IMG, and then we click or double click on execute project. So let's execute and see. So it takes us to this customizing execute project. So I will have to click on SAP reference IMG. So once you click, it takes you to this environment to start a different navigation. Okay, so from here, I could just decide to navigate through to enterprise structure, and then I navigate to definition, through to logistics general. Then once I get here, I need to click on execute for any of the items I want to open. So let's say I click on this define, copy, delete, check plans. I click on the execute icon, and then it opens this dialog box for me to choose what I want to do here. So for instance, I want to define a plant. I could just double click on it, or I select it like this and then click choose. So this opens this screen for me. The screen is change view plant overview. Okay, so I can just decide to change my plant parameters here and then I will save. Okay, so let's go back and see. I'll cancel this. I'll go back once more. I'll go back again. The same way we use transaction code when we navigated through to logistics, we can also use this transaction code. This SPRO is also a transaction code. So if I do not want to navigate through tools, customizing, IMG, I could just go to the command field and then enter this transaction code, SPRO. Mind you, transaction codes are not case sensitive. Okay, so if I click enter, it opens the customizing environment for me to navigate through to SAP reference IMG and then through to whatever interface I want to navigate to. Okay, so this is how you navigate through SAP. So you can navigate using the SAP menu, or you use transaction codes. There are thousands of transaction codes on the internet. You can just go and search for SAP transaction codes and you'll see thousands of them and then you can use it. Then if you still want to navigate, navigation actually helps you to understand where transactions are grouped in SAP. So if you get used to navigation, you will know how items are grouped and then places where they can be found. Okay, so but as you keep working on SAP, whichever way that you feel that is fast for you and interesting for you, you can use it to navigate through the SAP application. Now you may want to ask, oh, how do I get SAP access so I can be practicing along during this training series? If you want to have SAP access, you can hit me up on my channel. What you do is you subscribe to my channel, you get in touch with me, and then I will let you know what it will take to get SAP access, and then guide you on how you can install it on your system and then use it to practice along, because this is going to be a long series. We'll be having different topics that we'll be treating, and we'll get to some technical sections where we'll be doing some technical things on SAP. So you cannot afford to miss any of these sections. All you need to do is to subscribe to this YouTube channel and then hit me up. My contact details are there. You can send me an email or you can get in touch with me, and then I will give you every detail that you need. You can also comment on this video and then ask questions, and then we can always respond to your questions. Okay, so this will be the end of this section. So you can navigate through SAP. You know what a command field is now. You know what the SAP menu is, and then you know how to use transaction codes. And then you can actually go to the internet and search for transaction codes, and you can get thousands of them. You know how to log into the SAP system, and then you know how to navigate and find your way around. Stay tuned as we work towards getting to the next video series that will be teaching us on different modules. And then if you also have any requests, any special requests on any module you would like us to treat, just hit me up, and then we will see what we can do to get that done. Okay, so once again, I thank you for your time. I encourage you to take these good steps and then follow through these courses, and then you might just become an SAP expert by the time you go through and practice these different steps I will be walking you through on SAP. SAP is an interesting application, and SAP professionals are highly paid professionals. No matter your discipline, without SAP, you may not be able to compete favorably in the employment market. Or even if you are employed, you may not be able to get the desired promotion because a lot of persons might be ahead of you with SAP expertise, and then in the end, you may just be sidelined. So I encourage you to take these both steps. We actually organize trainings. If you want to take any of the trainings on SAP, just get in touch with us, and then we can guide you on the path that is going to be beneficial to you. The website still remains www.sapacademy.net. You can go there, choose a course, and then get in touch with us. We always post our training programs from time to time. You can always take advantage of that and then get SAP training and certification from us. Thank you very much, and God bless.